All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Prescott. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Prescott now on second down. Dumps it off to Fournette. Whoa, it still won't go down. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On second down, here's Fournette, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. First down, Prescott. Sharks got it left side. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Prescott to throw it. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. Prescott from the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's got daylight. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. When it was third down defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
46.
A handoff to Fournette. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Prescott, and he'll be brought down by the Colts. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. Play action now. Brissett finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Play fake. Here's Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Following the interception, here's Prescott. That one complete. He finds Sharp, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Third and short yardage. Prescott. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. This is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Kelce, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Prescott. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. Fournette, a 1st down, still going. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell able to get him for a loss of about 3.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Play fake, Brissett. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home. And they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Here's Brissett. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Awesome.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
You don't want no problem. You don't want no problem for me.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he's brought down. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, what a good football coach is looking for? Complete football players. And guess what? We've got one here because most cornerbacks, they just want to cover people. This guy shows the ability to go ahead and make tackles.
On play action, Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had two nice interceptions a week ago. Now two here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Brissett to throw on first. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain at 21 yards. First down, Brissett. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Our first half update now from Philadelphia. And an impressive display by the Eagles. They continue to pour it on, scoring again. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Prescott now. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Over the middle, complete. It's Bird. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Brissett now 6 of 10 of this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Out of the gun, Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be Jacksonville territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they take a 17-14 lead. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team. They'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And now out come the Jags. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. They go play action with Brissett. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Howard. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bird. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Brissett now on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. That's Howard. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Steps away to his left. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That's a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
And he finds Howard complete, but he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And a second spin. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Ordinarily, in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
Fournette on the counter, and they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott, and he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Prescott from the gun. Fighting to stay upright. Eluding the pressure right. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will tie things at 17-all. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And they work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. On play action, Brissett being chased out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Howard. Back now in Indianapolis. A 2nd down throw for Brissett. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
2nd down, Brissett. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Malik Jackson busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Colts on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, here's Brissett. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's got some space here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. 2nd down, Prescott. And this one's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now Prescott. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Prescott. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Terrell Suggs in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Here go 47.
Here's Prescott. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Lambo will put this one through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Brissett. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Brissett now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Brissett escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he slides to avoid the hit. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Right back to him on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Here's Hines on a toss play. And some room to maneuver. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And some room to work. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he's all the way in for the touchdown. No flags. And in the final stages of this game, they're an extra point away from tying us up. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good on the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia. And it was the Eagles that wound up winners in that one. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Howard. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Brissett looks to throw. flush to his right. And an alley to run. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Here's Brissett. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand off inside.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And the Colts getting ready to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Hines. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Now a toss play. It's Hines flexing his muscle at the 30. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Here's Hines. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards.
Here we go, 46.
First down, Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Indianapolis, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.